After dropping a 44, 14, and 8 stat line against the Detroit Pistons Friday night, James Harden told the media, quote, "I feel like I am the MVP. It's just that simple." Currently at a price of 7-1, are you buying James Harden as the association's most valuable player?
Well, he has asserted himself into the conversation, so much so that I can't believe it, fellas, because if you would have told me 2 months ago, in the wake of what happened in Houston, him saying, "Get me out of here," for him to become an MVP favorite, or at least in the conversation, is incredible. I think there's great value at plus 700. And if you go back to when Harden won it in 2018, he led the NBA in scoring over 30 points per game. Well, now, to your point, he's leading the NBA in assists, over 11 per game. He's efficient. He's obviously making a ton of threes. He's getting to the line. But I think the way he plays in tandem with Kyrie Irving, and the fact that Brooklyn is 24-7 with him on the floor, lends us to say, no LeBron James, at least he's been out. I think there's voter fatigue with Giannis. We haven't seen Luka assert himself yet. I think it's 7-1. James Harden has great value for MVP.
All right, Jordan, let's enter the buyout market, and James Harden's Brooklyn Nets were very active in that regard. There was two big names we're going to discuss here that joined playoff or championship contenders. LaMarcus Aldridge, bought out by the Spurs, signing with Harden and the Nets. They are the favorite overwhelmingly to come out of the East, minus 105. Now with Aldridge joining Blake, Kyrie, Harden, and Durant, are you going to buy the Nets at that price, or look at someone else now as a better value potentially in the East?
No. This is all Brooklyn. I was on them before. You add Blake, okay, maybe he can give you something, but you add LaMarcus Aldridge. Now that's a big add, because Aldridge's ability as a pick and pop guy, someone that can come in and maybe take some of DeAndre Jordan's minutes. You can play big with him. You can play small because of his ability to shoot. I think he'll give you 20-plus a night minutes, and then he will be able to get you buckets. He's not a great defender at this stage in his career. You don't need him to be, because you're not a great defensive team. You're going to outscore people if you're Brooklyn. So I love LaMarcus Aldridge in Brooklyn. I think it's a great fit, and I think he'll give them something that they really didn't have from the 4 and 5 slots. So yes, buy Brooklyn, pay that premium, and know that they're coming out of the East.
All right, same question now for the favorite in the betting markets out west, the LA Lakers. Acquire or add Andre Drummond to their roster. They are plus 130 to win the West right now. We know AD and LeBron are currently on the shelf, but once they get back, then of course going to be a championship caliber team. Would you buy the Lakers right now after this Drummond news, or look for value elsewhere in the West?
Definitely value. I think, Tyler, when you think about the West, how loaded it is, the fact that Denver goes out and gets a two-way 25-year-old wing in Aaron Gordon. Now Denver's in that conversation. Portland got better by adding Norman Powell. I think you think about the West as a whole, it's so competitive. The fact that we haven't even talked about the Clippers despite last season's collapse says that, okay, the Lakers right now, no LeBron, no Anthony Davis. They're not a great defensive team at this stage. And with all due respect to Frank Vogel, there's some other great coaches in the West. So I think there's no value on that. I wouldn't take the Lakers at plus 200 to win the West. Look elsewhere and say, until LeBron and Anthony Davis come back, I wouldn't even consider taking that bet.
Jordan Schultz, ESPN basketball analyst, joining us here on Bet. Catch him later today, ESPN 2, 6 p.m. Eastern, breaking down everything in the association tonight. Jordan, we always appreciate it, my man. Talk to you soon.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.